Happy Tuesday, everyone. We have a fun little work set for you guys, a little bit of max effort work with a little bit of rest in there as well. But we're gonna have some fun today. It's gonna be a little longer, but you'll, like I say, you have some built-in rest. To get us there to our work set, we have our wide stance good morning for 5, side lunge for 6, alternating and a 3-second pause per side, dynamic triangle 5 a side, dumbbell single leg RDL for 5 per side, and a lateral ski jump for 20 seconds. 2 to 3 rounds there into our next phase of dumbbell deadlift for 5 a side, dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull for 3 a side, and then we're going to move into our dumbbell hang power clean for 6, alternating, just to get in the flow of alternating that dumbbell for the work set. After that, we're going to work on some in-out hops, just to get the heart rate up for about 20 seconds, 3 to 5 rounds there to feel those dumbbells, and then we get set up for our work set. And our work set's very straightforward today. You're looking at 20 minutes of work, so 10 rounds of work. Minute number 1, dumbbell single arm sumo deadlift high pull, max reps in a minute. So you're gonna rock 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, 5 on one side, 5 on the other side, back and forth for a minute. Then you're gonna move into that lovely work set of a minute rest afterwards for minute number 2. Woo! Alright, rest, hard rest, breathe. Then you're gonna grab that dumbbell again and you're gonna work on dumbbell single arm hang power clean, alternating hands each rep. So you'll clean, bam, switch hands, clean, and you're gonna have max reps total count in that minute. And then the 4th minute, you'll have 1 full minute of rest, back into the sumo deadlift high pull. So we have some fun there for you guys. I do recall, I just mentioned 10 rounds, it's actually 5 rounds. All right, so my bad. I got a little excited there for a second. But we have 2 pieces of work, 2 pieces of rest, so you get a little bit of half work, half rest. It'll be a nice chunk of work for you guys, and just have some fun with it. So let's get you warmed up, have some fun, and we'll begin the day. All right, guys, let's warm up a little bit. Let's get those feet under the hips. We'll take the arms big and tall overhead. We're gonna stretch all the way over to one side, and we're gonna stretch all the way back over to the other side. Come back up, we're gonna scratch our back, and then we're gonna reach through the elbow, big stretch, and then come back up, big reach, scratch your back, and reach through the elbow, big stretch up overhead, and then forward fold. We're gonna touch those toes, we're gonna walk up the shins, gonna come back down, free the foot, step back, inside hand is gonna reach way up to the sky, we're gonna come back down, outside hand is gonna reach into a nice rotation, and then come back down, inside hand up, exhale down, outside hand up, back down, one more time, inside big scoop, come back down, outside hand big reach, and back down. We'll step our feet back into our down dog, setting those shoulders, walking those heels nice and gentle back and forth. Nothing too crazy here, just kind of working those legs back and forth, nice and gentle. Come back into our plank, and then we'll step the other foot up. Nice and square in those hips again. Inside hand's gonna reach way up. We'll come back down. Outside hand's gonna reach way up. Back down. Inside hand's gonna reach up. And down. Outside hand's gonna reach up. And down. One more time. Inside hand. And down. Outside hand. And back down. We'll step that front foot back into our down dog. Setting those shoulders, walk those heels back and forth again, nice and easy, super gentle. Good. We'll come back into our plank, set those ribs, those shoulders, tiptoe in as we hold that position. And we'll roll ourselves all the way up, big stretch. Reach to one side, and reach to the other side. And come on back down. All right, here we go, you guys. Pause the video if you want to do some gentle warm-up stuff still. Cat-cows, nice rotation work, a little bit more lizard lunge, it's up to you. But I'm going to jump right into that first phase of warm-up, which is going to focus primarily on our lower body and a little bit of rotation work. So we're going to start off with our wide stance good morning. So I'm going to get set up in that nice wide stance, nice tall position, and I'm just going to focus on squeezing my glutes. My knees are going to be soft as I hinge, but I'm really going to focus on my feet. So I really want you to think flat foot and that big toe staying down. So as I squeeze and I pull my hips back, my knees soften, my weight stays right through the laces, and I hinge, and then I stand up nice and tall, maintaining that midfoot balance. Maintaining that midfoot balance is a little harder than you'd think, so I really want you just to focus in on those feet really, really hard. So one more time, I squeeze, I pull back, my center line stays right over top of that midfoot, and then I stand up nice and tall. My next exercise is going to be that side lunge. So I'm going to move right into it since I already have my stance. So my first rep, again, I'm going to take my hip down to my heel. So I'm focusing on squatting. So I pull my hip back and down, so I keep that chest up as high as I can, like a squat. My weight is over my midfoot, and my foot is nice and flat, and then I press through that leg. And then the same idea on the other side. I take it down, staying as upright as I can, feet are flat, weight through the midfoot, and then I stand nice and tall. I'm going to pause on both sides for about 3 seconds in terms of that flow. So I want to make sure that I'm really taking my time to get in that good position. So as I pause in the bottom, I'm nice and active, and my weight goes right through that midfoot so I can open up the ankles and track that knee over the toe so I can open up those squat mechanics later on. From there, I'm going to move into my sumo stance. And for my sumo, I'm going to turn a toe directly to the side and the other toe on an angle. So my hand's going to come to my thigh, my other hand's going to reach up. I'm going to pull my hip back into my heel, and I'm going to let that body tip, continuing down the shin. So I'm allowing that body to hinge because of that hip. So I pull, my arm keeps pointing straight up, but my body's on this angle, and that's all from that hinge into that back hip and into that heel. So I allow myself just to flow down nice and slow, and then I come back up nice and steady, keeping that arm reaching to the sky. My next exercise is that single leg RDL. You can do it loaded or unloaded, it's up to you, whatever feels more comfortable. And there's 2 variations for this in terms of doing this exercise. One of which we'll work on a little bit more balance, and the other one we're going to focus on is a toe assist. So I have my toe down. Both variations start the same way. So I load my balancing and main leg. I stand super tall with either the dumbbell in my hands or empty hand. I pull my hips back, just like the good morning, keeping that chest up and letting the hinge pull my body back. And then from here, I stand up nice and tall. Dedicating my weight to this balancing leg, keeping that foot flat, and really focusing on that long body. As I hinge, I pull the hip back, I feel my hamstring and glute, and I stand. The other variation is lifting this leg up, but I'm not trying to lift it up super high. As I hinge, I just let that foot hover above the ground a bit, and then I stand. So it's the same engagement through the glute and the hamstring. I'm just putting balance into the effect just a little bit more as well. So challenging my body and my coordination just a little bit more. So depending on how you're feeling, how your balance is today, I want you to do this, the option that's going to allow you to tap into that hamstring or glute the most. After that, we're going to work on some dynamic jumping. So we're going to work that lateral ski jump again. So we load my single leg. I use my arms and body to swing and come over to the other side. And I control that lateral energy as I stop briefly and I work that motion. If you're not a jumper and you're like, I can't quite jump or I don't have the control just yet, you can still work that good lateral energy with a step. I swing step, I still work my balance, I still work on that controlling of the lateral energy. I'm just not leaping or bounding, I'm lifting that back foot as my other one's touching the ground. So it's an easy way to control that energy and control that position. So play with what you feel comfortable with. It's going to get your heart rate up for 20 seconds. It's going to get you going. As a quick recap, we have 2 to 3 rounds of a wide stance good morning for 5, side lunge for 6 alternating and a 3-second pause, dynamic triangle for 5 aside, dumbbell single leg RDL 5 aside or unloaded, lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, 2 to 3 rounds, rocking that, and then come back to me for this next phase. So pause the video, take that down, get yourself good and ready. We're going to start playing with some dumbbells and some movements that are in the workout today. So we start off with a dumbbell deadlift, and we're doing this more so just to kind of get the body kind of fired up and ready to go for our hamstrings and our glutes a little bit with the dumbbell. So I'm going to stand over top, and I'm going to do a dumbbell sumo deadlift. So that means the dumbbell's just in between my feet. So it's cutting my foot in half, and my feet are roughly in a squat stance. I'm going to turn to the side, because it's more important for you guys to see my profile than it is to see me dead on with this. So I'm gonna take one hand, I'm gonna pull my hips back, just like my good morning, keeping my weight through my midfoot, and then I'm gonna come down towards the dumbbell. So I grab the dumbbell, I'm gonna press through my legs, and stand up tall. And again, I'm just gonna take it down to where I feel comfortable. So if I don't quite make it all the way to the floor, that's okay. We wanna work and build our range of motion as deep as we can maintain our back position. Our back position is our primary focus through this entire movement. So we'll make that our goal. The deadlift is also kind of the foundational movement in both of the movements in our lifts in our workout today. Because right after that, you're gonna move into a sumo deadlift high pull. So we use that same position, except we're gonna accelerate through the legs a little bit more and let the dumbbell flow and let the arm continue the momentum the legs and the hips create. So I pull it back and down, I stand up and let that drive through the hips, carry the dumbbell up to my sternum. So again, pull back so you can see the hips and drive and come back down. So we want to make sure that the hips and legs fully extend first before we start using the arm for the assist. We want to make sure we're not pulling too soon. We want to right up. So legs, hips, arms. All right. So that's the kind of the order of operations. The arm shouldn't be working too hard in this movement. It should just be finishing the momentum that the legs and hips give. After that, we're going to finish off with some alternating hang power cleans. So personally, I like doing single arm hang power cleans between the feet. It's up to you if you'd like to do it to the side, but I find I get a better flow between the feet. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to get that same hinge that I was working on in my deadlift and my sumo deadlift, but I'm just going to take the dumbbell to the knee. Then I'm going to drive through the legs, keeping the dumbbell close, landing in that power position. As I come down, I'll transition, and I'll take the dumbbell between, into that nice clean again, take the dumbbell between, and we work that clean. So from the side, what that looks like is I get my hinge, I drive through the legs, through the hips, and that dumbbell travels up the front of my body, nice and close. We want to make sure that the dumbbell isn't going out in front. We want to make sure it's staying close to the body and flowing up the chain, up to the shoulder in that front rack position. So play with that, use that time to work that transition. It's going to come in handy for the workout where you're going to be on the clock. Right after that, what we're going to work on is our in-out hops. So we can work on getting our feet in our squat stance. Set the clock, 20 seconds. I'm going to hop in and out. I can go nice and steady for rhythm. I can try and go faster with my feet. All right, I can try and push that pace until I kind of mess my footwork up a little bit and then pull it back and just see how fast I can go. But the main thing here is we're working on that little power stance. We're allowing our ankles and our knees to do what it does best, and that's absorb impact and give that rebound back. Just like when we practice our ankle hops. It's the same concept. We give ourselves that freedom to let our ankles and knees absorb and give back the energy so we get that good balance. We can also work on our steps, so our footwork steps. So I can start here, I can step in and out, working on some feet, working on rhythm, trying to go fast, trying to go as fast as I can until I mess up or I have to back off the speed. But you can play, you can experiment, see how it goes. Right? We like to play with these too in the kids' classes and the adult classes with a plate, so you can work on something if you have anything at home that you can step on that's low, like about an inch and a half, that you can work on toe tapping or jumping on with that little hop. Just changes the sensation just a little bit, but if you don't have anything like that, don't worry about it. Just work on your coordination, your speed, and that footwork. Quick recap, you guys. We have 5 dumbbell deadlifts per side, 3 sumo deadlift high pulls per side, and then we move into 6 alternating dumbbell hang power cleans to allow ourselves to practice the transition that we're going to use in the workout. After that, we get some in-out hops, 20 seconds worth of hopping or steps. That gets the heart rate going. Mine was up there quite quickly there, just doing those demos, all right? But get that heart rate going, get those feet ready to go, and get ready to go for the work set that's coming your way. Pause the video, take that down, have some fun with it, and now I'm going to explain the work set. The work set again for you guys is 20 minutes long, so that works out to 5 rounds of the work. Minute number 1, we work on our sumo deadlift high pull for max reps in the minute. or for as long as you need. If you like to give yourself a little bit of time at the top of the minute, or if you need to because you're getting gassed, that's fine. But what you're gonna work on is you're gonna work on 5 reps on one side, and then from there, that's 4 and 5. You can switch and do 5 on the other side. Our goal here is a light load that we can just flow with back and forth and really get the heart rate going and just keep our body moving for most of that minute. If you have to rest midway through, that's fine. If you have more time, try and take it right to the top of the minute, because you get a full minute in minute 2 to rest. So our next minute is a minute rest, and then after that rest, we pick our dumbbell up with a good deadlift, and we work on alternating hang power cleans. So we flow back and forth into that nice clean, getting max reps in that minute. And again, if you have to put the dumbbell down, you have to breathe. If your forearms are getting a little tight, you shake them out and breathe. If you have a full minute to do what you can, and then minute number 4, you get to rest. And then you'll go back into that single arm sumo deadlift high pull, which is a little deeper hinge and a little bit more leg. Or this is a little quicker hip extension, leg extension, which is gonna be kind of fun. It's gonna get tiring, so break it down. Use the minute to the best of your ability, see how many reps you can get done, and try and keep them consistent each round if you can, within a couple reps of each round and each minute. Have fun with this one, you guys. Biggest piece of this puzzle, move with quality movement. Focus on that good hinge, that good hip extension. Use this as the chance to work on quality movement in these minutes. Rest if you feel things starting to break down, so you can keep things clean and moving efficiently. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's gonna get the heart rate up a little bit, gas out those hips a bit, but we're gonna have some fun in today's work set. So enjoy, have fun, work for quality, and we'll see you tomorrow for a nice hero workout. Bye, you guys.